So I am a music producer. I run an independent record label in Toronto called Music Mentor Productions. I have been asked to try and cut things short a little bit today, so I'm probably going to jump in the middle of this presentation. So I was supposed to set up my talk with you today by mentioning the negative place that I ended up in, really dark hole that I buried myself in. A lot of events in a row, a succession of events. My father passed away. It took 5 years of, he was bedridden, operations. My financial situation was at a loss when the stock markets crashed. I was in a relationship that ended. Like, just everything seemed to be at the end, and felt like I had lost it all, sort of feeling. So what I'd like to do is talk about the solutions. First of all, I did have to go back to my childhood with a statement that I heard when I was just a kid. I didn't really understand it when I first heard it. I'm just wondering if anyone here remembers when they first heard the saying, "You are what you eat." Did people remember that? I was a kid when I first heard that. I did not understand a thing. Like, how could I be made up of macaroni and cheese? And how could I be standing without at least a lot of Elmer's glue to keep me up? So that led, though, to another statement, "You are what you think." And that was really sort of a pinnacle of change for me. It made me step back and listen to the voices in my head, and I realized that I had a lot of negative thoughts running through my head. You could call it the inner voice or the ego, but that dialogue, that chitter-chatter that was inside my head was just all negative, and it was time to get rid of all of those negative thoughts. And I did just come up with a phrase that I used. It was "kick it to the curb." So any negative thought that made its way to my mind, I just kicked it out, and there's no room for negative thoughts and beating yourself up and bringing yourself down. And a good friend of mine, Carla Sacco, who was a host of this event last year and is the vice president of my company, she said to ignore the voices and kind of in one ear, out the other, and just completely don't give it any power. Another thought is to replace those negative thoughts with the positive opposite thought, and that also helps you to clear any of the negative thoughts in your head. So that was one of the solutions that got me thinking more positively again, got me back up. Another one was when we went down to Nashville. We hook up with the big writers down there, and it's the Bible Belt area. And a common phrase down there, I hadn't heard it up here, I hadn't heard it before. It was just an attitude of gratitude. And it was, I really liked that saying because it rhymed. It was very simple. I can remember it, so that's why I can share it with you today. But attitude of gratitude, it's just basically living your life and being grateful for what you have, not thinking about what you don't have, what you lost, what you want, just to be grateful for what you have. And I find that all the negativity and those negative thoughts, they just can't exist in that dynamic. It just doesn't happen. It's kind of like when your heart is full of love, fear cannot exist when you come from a loving place. So that was a really wonderful sort of phrase that I use all the time now to get me back to a very positive place and thought. Another idea, I didn't know what to call this. I'll just call it up, up, and away. And what it is it's the emotional scale, and moving upwards in the emotional scale. Just even if you have to go inch by inch, where I ended up at the bottom, it was a long process. But just to always point upwards and aim everything positively and up, I just find that now I rarely slip back down. I don't go the other way anymore, because I'll give a quick example. If there was a promotion or something that you felt that you deserved and somebody else got it, and you become angry about that, so you're not going to be angry forever, unless maybe you're the Tasmanian devil. I think he was angry for his whole life. But that is a cartoon, and this is reality, folks. We have to get back to the program here. But, the anger finally subsides, and you've already achieved a more positive spot than you were before. You might be disappointed. You might be envious of the person that took your job, maybe. But you've moved up, and just inch your way up, because the other way is anger turning into rage, turning into revenge, and turning into evil. It goes all the way down. So just up, up, and away. Never look back and never look down. I will also, I guess, as I say, I don't have a lot of time, but I will talk about when I get down or depressed or negative, I do find that I become reclusive to some degree. So getting back out in the community, giving back, volunteering, that was another incredible idea, and it just rewarded me in spades. So I'll mention just a couple of the associations that I work with because of time, but I do want to mention Building Bands Canada is the latest one that I'm a part of. And basically, we go into a community, either low-income community or at-risk youth, wherever we're needed, and we provide instruments to the kids. We show them how to play their instruments, so instruction. We get them performing. We put them into bands and do benefit concerts, so they get to play live. And when we leave the program, we leave the instruments with them, so they get to keep their instruments. And there's a follow-up program as well. I think our president of Building Bands Canada is here today, Christine Newman. I'm not sure if she's visible, but anyways, I guess lastly, I will mention a Canadian Chinese Idol was another event that I got involved in about 4 years ago, and I was judging the Idol competition. And I was asked to become the music director for the last couple of years of that event. And the sponsors, one of the sponsors from China, happened to I guess, have in their roster and signed to their record label one of the biggest superstars in China, a girl named Laura Shang. So they brought her over to Toronto, and it was actually the first time a big superstar from China came over to perform in North America, and it was for our event. It was quite exciting. And then I was asked to commissioned to create a song for Laura Shang, a song that I called "We Will Fly," and it is about two young lovers that are met with a lot of negativity around them, and they have to overcome that. And it was kind of a great moment for me to work with one of the biggest superstars in China. This girl had won the Supergirl competition, which is the American Idol of China. So she was just such a big deal. And they released this single over there, it was successful, and so it was a really great moment for me that really felt as though I had come back to this very great positive place that I am in today. So we will present this song for you. I'm definitely a better songwriter than a singer, so you're fortunate today. We've got a great special guest that's going to sing this song. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the incredibly talented and beautiful Amanda Edwards.
Thank you.